Okay, thank you very much, Francesco. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the opportunity to give you today a short overview over our work. First, my person, I'm the Managing Director of the PAS, which stands for Peschak Autonomous Systems. Our core competencies are, as you can read in the name, autonomization. We have invented a system for autonomous driving and autonomous operating of vehicles and machinery of all kind. And one of our first applications is to use all this technology in agriculture. I've prepared some questions to be accurate, and I hope that I'm able to answer them for you, but of course you can ask me in any details. I have also prepared some slides going into technical details, but on the following slides I'm concentrating a little more on agricultural use. So the first question, how did we come up with the concept of an intelligent machine? The original idea was to save life. We had a project for doing hard work under very harsh and dangerous conditions, and my first idea was not to use any protected machinery, but to use autonomous machineries. That was very many years ago, about 10 years ago, I had this idea, and I was looking for, I would say, the best heads in Austria concerning autonomous systems, brought them all together, and we developed a system for autonomous operation under any conditions, under any weather conditions, on any terrain, on and off-road, whatever, day and night. So very good also for agricultural use, we thought. And especially we had to develop a tractor, unmanned, who does work on a very dangerous terrain. And that was the step some years ago when we said, okay, now we have it on a tractor, now we have to look at the agricultural use for this, of course. And therefore, we looked at the specifications for precision farming and thought about how to use our system in farming. Our system basically is based on a 3D vision system. We use stereo cameras. Here you have a short overview how it works. We mainly use daylight stereo cameras. We also can use night vision, which is very appropriate in some situations. I will show you. We can also use laser scanners, but we don't because they are very expensive and have some big disadvantages. We have invented special system for self-localization. What we do is we create a three-dimensional mapping, and in this mapping we found our path. We can use it to drive on roads, we can use it to drive in off-terrain, and of course we can use it to operate a tractor in the field. We have different kinds of mission planning. I will not go in details. We can talk about afterwards. If somebody is interested on how it really works in technical detail, I have no problem. And all this information of the path planning and how to operate on the field is given from our autopilot to the tractor and is acting on steering, motor, braking, and so on. That is our technology in very short terms. So, next question. What can the intelligent tractor do in practice? With our system, you can do very precise work in the field. We are accurate down to centimeters. We can do optimized work concerning fuel consumption. We can reduce the time of work and also the distance the tractor has to cope with. What we can, and that is what makes us different to any other system nowadays used in agriculture, is we can detect obstacles and we can react on obstacles. Therefore, our machinery can act unmanned. If you want, you can sit on your tractor. If you don't want, you will not need to sit on it, but there are restrictions concerning law. But our machinery, technically, it's possible to work unmanned. We also work on some detection concerning the plant condition, concerning nitrogen, water, or basic elements which is needed by the plants. We are working on certain sensors. The sensors can work online, and all the sensor data is given to the tractor, and autonomously the tractor reacts and operates all the machinery. We can use any kind of data, either the data our sensors create, but other data coming from satellite data, drones. We can all this put on our autonomous system, and the tractor, he knows exactly where he is on the field, accurate to the centimeter, and therefore he can autonomously work with all the data, wherever the data comes from. What we also can do, we can detect the accurate, the precise position of the plant. What we will try to use, for instance, for mechanical weed extinction, because we know where the plant sits and can extinguish all around it, for instance. That could be possible with our system, but the mechanical system for using, for extinguishing the weed is very hard to develop. We are working on it at the moment. We also can integrate data about the properties of the terrain, for instance, the density. There is a company which has created a sensor for this, so we can integrate all kinds of data into our system, and the tractor, for instance, can operate the plough behind him due to the properties of the terrain. That is all possible with our system. To state it again, all functions, driving and working, operation of all machinery can be done autonomously by our tractor, by our system, which is operating the tractor. A great theme at the moment is obstacle detection. With our sensors, we can detect living beings within the high grass, for instance, and preventing the killing of the living being and all the other problems which are combined by little deers within the high grass, as you know. But we can detect it and prevent the machinery from hurting the little animal. No, it's a deer, a small deer, yeah, by infrared. It's done by infrared. Next question. How does the autonomous system change the way the farmers work, take decisions? What is the benefit for them to use it? To state it again, our system works fully autonomously, so not very much work has to be done by the farmer. He can sit on the tractor or not, whether he likes it or not. All the decisions is taken by the system on basis of the data you give him. The accurate the data, of course, the better the work of our system. Of course, based on the data, we can save resources, time, fuel, fertilizer, of course, if we detect the condition of the plant concerning fertilizer. And by optimization of bringing out fertilizer, you can, of course, increase harvest. And, which is good for everyone, for us, of course, by bringing out lower quantities of fertilizer, pesticides, and so on. Of course, we also can protect our food and environment by our system. Next question, how difficult is the use of the service? How expensive? Again, I have to say, every function is fully autonomously, so the use of the service is not that complicated. How expensive at the moment is a little hard to say, but I will give you about some numbers because at the moment it's still in research and development. But I would say, due to the fact that we use only commercial off-the-shelf hardware, which is of rather low cost, I would say the price for the whole system will not exceed about 20,000 euro. Perhaps we can get lower, but I'm sure that we will not exceed 20,000 euros. And we do not charge any annual fee, like, for instance, you have to pay for DGPS, RTK, or whatever the system is called. Okay, next question, how many farmers do currently use it, have tried it? As I told you, at the moment we are still on research and development. What we have shown the fully functionality of our system on a vehicle. We showed it in public several times. So we showed that our system can work very confidently. What we do now is, at the moment, 2 tractors are equipped with our system and are going to be tested. We also plan to do some testing together with this university. The tests will start in these days and during the summer, as I told you, together with this university, with a farming school, also with farmers we know very well who live near our in the surroundings of our company. We do some testing together with tractor manufacturers on different testing facilities. And we hope, as I told you, it's research and development, we hope that the first functions like fully autonomously working on the field will be ready for first use this autumn or in spring of next year. What hardware, software do we need to use it? As I told you, we use commercial off-the-shelf products. We need at least 3 industrial PCs, not very big like this. We use cameras, also commercial off-the-shelf, and the software is developed by us, by the PRS and our research and development partners. Next question. Is it possible, have you thought about integrating satellite drone data to enrich the information you provide them? Of course. Our autonomous system can use any data, wherever it comes from. We use our own sensors, we use data from satellite, from drones, whatever. You just have to load it up in our system. Our system can put it on its 3D mapping, so you have a very accurate mapping of your field, and the tractor knows exactly where he is and knows exactly what needs to be done on this very point of the field. So wherever the data comes from, we can use it. And all this is done autonomously by our hard and software. And so the machinery like plough, fertilizer distribution, weed extinguisher, what else, can be operated autonomously based on the data we give, or you can give to the tractor, to the autonomous system. Okay, this leads me to the end of my very short presentation. If you have any questions, if you want to know more details about the technique behind our system, please feel free to ask me. Thank you very much.
Thanks for a very interesting presentation. Are there any questions?
What is the operational cost per year?
Excuse me.
Operational costs per year?
The costs per year.
Yeah.
If you once buy our basic set, you have to, I would say at first you have to pay nothing else. The only thing would be updates and additional applications. If you do, for instance, create a new sensor and so on, we offer to integrate the sensor and the new software for the sensor into the system.
Are you using RTK for free? So retail informatics GPS? It's usually costs.
Very, very good question. We have invented a DGPS system on our own. It's included in our package, and it will be nothing else, just the basic price and no additional costs or costs per year, nothing. We offer this for free. We have invented by ourselves, developed a DGPS system on our own, which works. It's working with accuracy of centimeter, but we also use our sensor data. We do not use only DGPS, we use the sensor data of our cameras, which in several situations are much more accurate than the DGPS. So our system will work everywhere. Even on points, on spots where you have problems with DGPS due to reflection or what else, we still have our cameras, which also work very accurate. On the other hand, there are some spots where DGPS might be a little more accurate, but on the other hand, we have our camera systems, and the combination of these systems makes, I would say, the first very reliable system for use in agriculture. I've spoken to many farmers, they all have problems with DGPS.
Okay, if we would take the tractor out on the street, would it work?
It would work, yes. It could drive on the street with traffic, what else? We've developed a system which can be used everywhere. But the only problem are the legal restriction at the moment. But you could send, a scenario could be the farmer starts his tractor unmanned, lets him, the tractor will drive unmanned to the field, work and return unmanned. With our technology it's possible, but there are problems.
Probably you should consider to have a good antivirus against the hackers trying to drive the tractors away from the farm. No, I have also a question about, can you say a bit more about the business structure of your company? Okay. Are you based only on this core product, or do you also have other products that sustain the...
Okay, thank you for the question. Yeah. I would say our core competence is research and development. And we now have, after many years of research, we have now, I would say, algorithm and software which can be used in everyday life, like in agriculture. So what we do, we offer this system to certain customers. We have already some customers, luckily. But what we also can do, we can adapt our algorithms, our software, accurately to the needs of our customers. So we offer our products, but do also development, especially to the specification of our customers.
So when I came across your website, your company, your product, I was very surprised of, I mean not surprised, but was impressed by the level of technology you have reached, keeping the company at the human size. So not many people still working on customization, very high level of skills, but not a huge global company, which to me looks a very good opportunity for further integration. So we can talk to you, or people producing other type of data can talk to you. It's easier to talk to you than to talk to much larger company doing similar things. That's
what I didn't mention yet is that behind us there are standing very strong research partners. We are working together with the Technical University, we are working together with the University for Applied Sciences, Technikum Wien. We are working together, of course, with this university. So we have very strong partners. And the development of the basic technology was done all together. There was, as I think I mentioned it, that I would say the best heads on the field of autonomous systems came together, and we started the project under my personal lead. And therefore we could develop such a strong technology. My little staff, as I have it at the moment, would not have been able to do such a big research work. But
such an integration of competencies coming from different fields.
But now we have the technology, and what we do now, we use this technology and develop it especially for every customer need.
Yeah, okay, good. Thanks. More questions? Yeah.
My question is of hardware. Which terminals you use to bring the farmer to a good picture for driving, and which cameras do you use, Motec or other suppliers, is my question.
Okay, for simple driving, we use very low-cost cameras, just for driving. If you need additional information, like from the spectrum of light, we use cameras, also commercial off the shelf, but they cost a little more. But just for autonomous driving, we use low-cost cameras. The technology is at the moment also for low-cost cameras is at a very high level at the moment, so they are not that expensive, I would say.